Ole Damagard is with us, a world leading expert in predicting false flag operations, but we're also talking about directed energy weapons, which is the suspected culprit in the so-called wildfires in Lahaina on the island of Maui in Hawaii, a directed energy weapon. So you were going to talk about sort of leading up to the August attack, let's call it. There was kind of this a step-by-step kind of planning that went into that. So go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, when you have an operation like that, you need the mapping of the area, which was done long before, where the smart cities, the smart island design, all of that was being put into place. Then we had the replacement of people like the governor, the police chief, who was also the one controlling the crime scenes and so on. These people, and also the one that were clearing the fires afterwards. And these people were handpicked. You had the police chief of Las Vegas, where one of the biggest alleged massacres ever happened. He was headhunted very specifically from Las Vegas, together with his deputy, to Maui, breaking all kinds of rules to get him into the position of chief of police, who was also in charge of the bodies, who was also in charge of the investigation. The governor was replaced. We had several other people also replaced. There were people dying under strange circumstances, like the secretary of the new police chief, John Pelletier, who in a very, very odd car crash. I mean, this is a woman who was very close to the police chief for some 30 years and would know a lot. When Pelletier came in she suddenly dies in this very weird car crash. Anyway, so these people that are later very crucial in the whole narrative within a year or two before this happened, moved in so that they're there. All the normal trusted people that would look critically into this were being removed, taken away. So suddenly you had the same players in central position here. Then if we just take 2023, you have I think it was in January on the local news there, you will see that they were coming out with the news that the U.S. Army Corps are right now doing a laser mapping of the Hawaiian island. Do not worry, these green lasers you will see at night, it's just for mapping. It has nothing. So just enjoy the spectacle, more or less. So we have laser mapping of the area. Okay, so also at the same time, a year or so before, but also coming up following this, was Operation Blue Roof.
Hello, Sarasota County. I'm Jamie Carson, your Director of Communications, and I'm out here at the Disaster Recovery Center at Shannon Staub Library in Northport, which is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Joining me now to talk more about Operation Blue Roof is Major Strife with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Sir, thank you for your time and thanks for joining us out here and helping our community. Can you provide us an overview of Operation Blue Roof?
Yes, so Operation Blue Roof is a mission assigned to the United States Army Corps of Engineers by FEMA. We're out here to help provide a more durable solution to help you bridge the gap in between you getting, or help you get back into your home faster. These are much more durable than a tarp, and the idea is we put this up there, and if it takes you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, it helps before you can get a contractor out there, it'll last.
By the very same U.S. Army Corps, please remember the color blue, that could protect against lasers. And so the U.S. Army Corps offered, since I think 2017, in different areas that have been hit by hurricanes and other disaster areas, especially in Florida, that you can, if you have any kind of problems, please call in. We will put on a blue roof on your building for free.
This is like a permanent roof. Is it like a metal? No.
No. It's a tarp, and I mean this is to protect from hurricanes. I don't know if a tarp has ever protected anything from a hurricane, but anyway, a blue tarp. But that blue tarp, I managed to track down the manufacturer, and it protects against 5G and EMF. Which is like, what is that kind? That is a very odd tarp if you compare to just holding rainwater out, like that. So if you look at, here we have the U.S. Army Corps again, that was also on Hawaii, where there was an operation with these blue roofs going on. So is that possibly part of the operation where they will say, we move into this area, these buildings are keepers, these are the things that fit into our agenda, so we will put a blue roof on them to make sure that nothing happens to them. We have a lot of celebrities also on Maui that started painting their roofs and buildings blue in the year upcoming to this whole thing, just as if they were informed beforehand.
So just so I understand, the blue roof is done before the laser mapping so that those buildings don't show up on the laser map and therefore they're not going to be targeted? Is that what?
No, you got the laser mapping, that screen laser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you have the attack lasers, and the direct energy weapons are blue lasers.
And because they're a blue roof, they won't absorb the...
Yeah, so it's, if I'm speculating now, but the way I see the agenda being played out is that they go in and into an area, they map the area, or they've looked at the area before, they go in and they say, because of this hurricane or whatever, or risks of heavy rains, we will help you by handpicking, because everybody can call in and say, I would like a blue roof, but they handpick the buildings that will be granted them for free. And then when they when you as a house owner fill out the formulas, you allow them to enter into your premises. You allow them to take over if something should happen to protect your building, I would say, or maybe you're signing over the rights of your building to them. You know, because look at Lahaina, people have been moved out and not let back in.
So sorry, it reminds me of something. Like if you're having your house renoed and, you're going to have certain walls torn down, you want to open up the space, maybe this window is going to be knocked out, this wall is going to be knocked out. You might, put a piece of tape on there or an X to indicate to the demolition people to come in, take this wall out, leave this here. So that's what they're doing in anticipation of creating these smart cities. They're signaling to the operators of the directed energy weapon, okay, so we're going to lay out our smart city. This building over here, that gets destroyed. The one next to it, we're going to keep that one. The three next to it, they're going to be destroyed.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not only that it is to show the operators of the laser weapons what not to hit. They will be intact because the laser cannot, you will see, we've done different experiments where you can go across different colors and it burn, and then there's a blue object, nothing, and then it burns again. Right. So it's like, it's a perfect protection. So you got that. Then you have the next step. There are multiple steps here that are moving forward like this. You will see people start buying up the masses of lands that when the prices are at a certain level, you got different celebrities that come in and just incredible land masses, including roads that cross the island, so that they control that people cannot move. We have Oprah, we have many other movie actors and so on. You can see their houses were completely untouched. None of them were hit. And you have also, as part of this whole operation, there is a release of gene-modified mosquitoes. I'm looking at patterns now in different areas of the world, okay? So you have in many areas in Florida, you have in certain African countries, you got here in Bali, they were going to release millions and millions and millions of gene-modified mosquitoes distributed by Bill Gates. They have a factory down in I think it's Colombia, where they're and also with different laboratories around here in Indonesia as well, where they are, according to themselves, they're fighting malaria, dengue fever, avian flu with these gene-modified mosquitoes. But these modified mosquitoes, when you really start looking at them, I would suggest are mosquitoes from hell. from absolute hell. Within 2 generations of mosquitoes, the normal population dies and are replaced by these ones. Then the first 2-3 years, everything looks fine. And then you start having very weird things where people, like in Australia, when they've been bitten by these mosquitoes, they develop like small little wounds where the body starts eating itself. I mean, awful things, and very, very hard to
So they're a
cure.
bioweapon. They've been designed as a bioweapon.
If you ask me, that is exactly what they are. Bioweapons is the word. And you will see also that, for instance, the dengue fever, which is a big problem here in Indonesia and other, it was developed in the late 60s or 70s, I can't remember right, by the CIA as a bioweapon, aiming at Cuba at that time, and then they started using it in other tropical areas. You will see these things, they come from nowhere, and suddenly we have this infested area and with problems, and then they come in with a solution. So in Maui, you have this, they say, the avian flu, which was a danger to a very rare bird species. Okay, fine, let's help the birds. So the way they've done in Maui, and I've been in touch a lot with people in Maui, including the Hawaiian king's family and so on. So I'm really trying to do my best with them. Anyway, so what they've done there, they started releasing, I think it was 10 or 12 million mosquitoes every second week. And they're going to do it for 20 years. I mean, once again, we have a limited space. It's an island. You release 10 or 12 million every 2 weeks for 20 years. What on earth? How much do you care about these birds? Yeah. But what I believe is happening is that they're trying to weaponize nature, the place where we can go and have a rest and recuperate and so on. Because the idea is, in smart cities, you will not be allowed to leave this digital grid. That's why they're trying to get away with all the, the normal fueled cars, so that it's electric cars and everything digital, so that you cannot leave.
It's a prison.
In these cities,
it's a prison, yeah.
It's a digital prison. It's the Truman Show. A 15-minute, that's it.
So the
That's your
mosquitoes that are being released, that are now within a couple generations of them, as you say, are now turned into, instead of being inoculators, they are now a bioweapon. They will be released into the wild, so that if you try and escape the 15-minute city, you're going to be attacked by mosquitoes. How do they keep them out of the 15-minute city, though?
It's very easy, geofencing, very easy. You have these things you can buy online. You put in a socket. It generates a sound that keeps the mosquitoes away. It's very simple. You have a geofencing around that, and on the outside of these smart cities that are here for your happiness and protection, you will own nothing, but you will be very happy. If you go out there, you will be attacked by these voodoo. I have no idea what even to call them, but bioweapon nature that will just scare you to stay there. They don't have to worry about you trying to escape, because if you go out there, it's and 2 generations of mosquitoes, that is within 1 month. Then so it's not like 100 years. Mosquitoes live, die, live, die, live, die, and so these are being replaced, and you will see that in Florida and in other areas, very, very odd mosquito types have just turned up. Long tail, they look very different, and they bite like hell.